Kashmir's natural beauty knows no bounds. Situated in the northwestern region of the Indian subcontinent, this beautiful valley lies between the Great Himalayas and the Pir Panjal range. Being surrounded by mountainous terrain on all sides, the Valley of Kashmir has a unique water system. Kashmir's network of water bodies range from high-altitude lakes and river systems to low-lying lakes. Roughly around 1,230 water bodies adorn Kashmir. Kashmir's ecosystem is self-sufficient, with Jhelum being at the center of it. The Jhelum River has been and continues to be the key element of this system. The river is made up of the debris brought down by its numerous tributaries such as Sindh, Lidar, Visho, Dudhganga, Shaliganga, Pohru, Arin and Madhumati, and is united with it through every fibre of its being by sticking to the valley floor. Water is the most plentiful in the low-lying parts of the valley, which remain literally deluged, giving rise to many wetland systems. Wetlands are transitional land systems between terrestrial and aquatic systems, where the water table is usually at or near the surface, or the land is covered by shallow water. Wetlands within River Jhelum Basin play a significant role in the hydrography of the Kashmir Valley by acting as a huge absorption basin for floodwaters. They function as natural sponges that trap and slowly release surface water, rain, snowmelt, groundwater and floodwaters. Trees, root mats and other wetland vegetation also decrease the speed of floodwaters and distribute them more slowly over the floodplain. Wetlands also act as crucial freshwater reservoirs in regions where climate change increases incidences of drought. Kashmir has a network of wetlands which play host to different species of birds and animals, especially migratory birds during winter. Kashmir has 2.55% of its geographical area under wetlands. The wetland system consists mostly of the different lakes across the valley and the wetlands that run along the River Jhelum. The Jhelum is the main waterway that rises from a spring called Verinag, from where a number of tributaries join the Jhelum and make it navigable from Khanabal to Wular Lake. Its total length in the valley is 177 kilometers. Through its length, the river creates and provides nourishment to different wetlands, which become the winter home of various migratory birds. Beginning the wetland journey along the River Jhelum, the first wetland is Chatlam. The Chatlam Wetland Reserve lies 17 kilometers east of Srinagar on the Srinagar-Jammu National Highway. The water table of the wetland is very high and has an adequate water discharge throughout the year. Chatlam Wetland Reserve is an important wetland for both resident and migratory waterfowl. The wetland is particularly important as a wintering area for migratory ducks and geese, and as a breeding area for herons, egrets and rails. Moving on with the flow of Jhelum, we reach the Hokersar wetland, which is situated around 10 kilometers from the Srinagar city. It is a permanent eutrophic wetland surrounded by freshwater marshes on the floodplain of the river Jhelum. Recognizing importance of the wetland for its biodiversity and socio-economic values, Hokersar wetland was designated as a wetland of international importance under Ramsar Convention in the year 2005. Every year, millions of migratory birds come to Hokersar wetland. The birds start a long-distance flight from various places like Siberia, China and Japan in the month of October in view of freezing temperatures, as Kashmir presents them a comparatively hospitable alternate habitat compared to the extreme freezing conditions in their natural habitats in Siberia, China and Japan, and other countries in the Northern Hemisphere. These tourists are of different kinds and different colors. They are beautiful and adorn this land for 5 to 6 months with their presence. The next wetland along the Jhelum is Mirgund. This wetland is an important staging and wintering area for thousands of migratory waterfowl species. This wetland lies 15 kilometers from Srinagar and is a shallow. Next on the floodplains of Jhelum lies the Shalabug wetland. Like Hokersar, the Shalabug wetland is thronged by the game birds, particularly during winter months. And the wetland supports a locally important fishery and reed harvesting industry. The wetland is an important staging and wintering area for migratory Ahead.The and a breeding place for a variety of waterfowl species. Another famous wetland along the river Jhelum is Haigam. The major part of the wetland is dominated by extensive reed beds to allow the passage of boats between areas of open water. The entire wetland, like the others, is a protected wildlife conservation reserve, where hunting is banned, and it is important to local people as a source of fish, reeds for thatching, mat making and fodder for livestock. Apart from the wetlands, Vellore is one of the largest wetlands of Asia and an internationally accepted Ramsar site. A large freshwater lake of India and associated marshes on the floodplains, Vellore is considerably larger and deeper than the other lakes in the region. The lake is a source of livelihood for a large human population living along its fringes. Even in the current scenario, when the ecosystem services provided by wetlands are better understood, degradation and conversion of wetlands continues. Rapid utilization of natural resources and favored land-based development led large areas of wetlands to be converted for agriculture and other human use. Wetlands are treated as wastelands, which they certainly are not. The wetlands serve as the kidneys of the planet and fulfill a wide range of essential functions that help sustain plants, animals, and even human beings. The Wildlife Department of Jammu and Kashmir tries their level best to maintain the wetlands, but the stress is unavoidable.
The purpose is to offer conducive conditions for these migratory waterfowl during the winters and to maintain the ecological characteristics of these wetlands. And to do so, there are some management interventions which need to be required to be applied to these wetlands. Like we should have a minimum water regime in the wetlands. So to maintain that water regulations and to regulate those water levels, what we do is that we try to see where are the breaches along the embankments, then we plug those breaches, we make the pools, we make the waterways and we make navigation possible. Then these things are very important. And not only that, when it's minus temperatures and then these waterfowl basically find hard to find the food, then we break the ice, then give them the supplements in terms of grains. And not only that, we have a problem of poachings as well during these periods. A lot of people in the fringe, they do basically venture into shooting of these birds, especially when they fly from one wetland to another wetland. So during that period, they are very prone to the poachings. Then we have to set up our camps at different places to invoke anti-poaching drives, and then we usually do law enforcement measures to ensure that these birds are saved.
Wetlands of Kashmir are directly linked to the livelihood requirements of the local population, apart from the ecological, biodiversity and tourism values. Wetlands have a huge scope for development as ecotourism spots in the valley. These are excellent spots for witnessing biodiversity at its best, along with exotic fauna. Most of the wetlands along the river Jhelum lie on route Srinagar to Gulmarg, which adds up as a positive for their development as great tourism spots. Wetlands also generate revenue to the state government through fisheries and auctioning of water chestnut, fodder, and other economically important species. Each person needs to start working individually to maintain these amazing natural resources and let the winter home of our colorful tourists be preserved.